For this module, there are two things that you need to do. Firstly, go to this link, the style energy consumption around the world. It's going to look a little bit like this. So it's the home energy use. This talks about where the electricity comes from, talks about energy consumption. The main thing I want you to look at is this task here. So there are questions involved, but it's basically a simulation that you can click and you can start turning on appliances in a house, and it tells you how much power that they're using. So it also equates it to tons of coal. So run your dishwasher or your washing machine, you're using 30 tons of coal per minute in Australia. That's if everyone in Australia, all 8 million houses, is using it. So play around with this, look at how much power and how many tons of coal we use as by simply leaving appliances on. So having our oven on, leaving the air conditioner running, and it gives you a sort of an impression of how many trains worth we're talking about. You can also then go to different areas and you can look at, well, that's Australia. We can go all the way over here and do the same comparative thing. And you can see that's a huge amount of coal. We have 130 million houses in the United States. So that's a significant effect. So that's your first task. Do that. There are some questions associated with it, so you'll need to play around with that simulator and match it, things like using a kettle, etc. Then once you've done that, the next task, which is the style survey, is all about your consumption. So you'll need to do this at home. This will basically become a homework task. Once you get home, open up this survey and go through your house and tick everything that fits with what you've got. So the first question is how many TVs? Some of this you may know off the top of your head. Feel free to just start filling that in. Things like how many computers, how many fridges, freezers, you'll probably know this stuff, heaters, air conditioners that you use regularly. Again, you probably understand this or know the answer without going home. This bit in particular about the light bulbs, you'll probably need to go home for that. It asks you to identify what type of lights you have. So I've given you a picture to make it easy, so go around your house and look at all the different types of lights and match them up to what you think they are, whether they're the old school incandescent, the halogen downlights, fluoros, energy saving LED downlight, and the LED globe. So there is some basic description there to hopefully help you identify them. Fill that out, keep going. There's a few of these, and basically at the end, it's going to say, add up all the numbers from above. So everything that you've selected in front, there is a little number here. So if you said, how often do you have lights on in your room? And you said quite often, you would have got a score of 4 for that question. So you'd add up all of your scores and click the number that fits you. And this is basically your energy consumption rating. So this will poll against the rest of the class and it'll tell you how much energy you use compared to someone else in your class. Then discuss what gave you the most points. What do you think you could do to reduce that, to try and reduce the amount of energy you're using? List 3 other things you could do to reduce energy score at home, and list something that you use that is not a renewable resource or recycled material, and discuss a way that you could use a recycled material or a renewable resource. So an example, you can't use this one, but an example would be that you use plastic shopping bags. You could then buy reusable bags, load your shopping into cardboard boxes, or just ask the store not to give you a bag every time. These are an example. The other one here, this is a bit of a table. So it says what appliances have you got, how many have you got. I've already filled this out. This is the cost per item per year. This is if you leave it plugged in but it's not turned on. So even though your TV is not currently on, it is still using power. It has a power save function. And in this case, your TV on average costs you $5 per year, while it's not even doing anything. So what you've got to do here is put in how many you've got. Over here is just the total. So if you have 1, the number is just 1 times this, so it's just 32. If you had 2 of them, you would times this by 2 because there's 2 appliances, and that is your number. And then right at the bottom, add up all of these numbers together, and that is the total cost per year of the appliances that you have that aren't even on. So this will give you an idea of how much money that your parents are spending on devices that aren't even being used at the time. So as simple as turning them off at the power point could save you this money. And that is the second section of this task.